Hi everyone, it's Zoe here with another live session. Today what I wanted to talk about is something that is becoming more and more pertinent as we roll towards the end of the year when things start to get a little bit silly in silly season. I wanted to have a chat to you about why bad foods tend to go down so well. I don't like to call foods bad or good, but what I'm talking about here when I'm talking about bad foods, other people might call them junk foods, sometimes foods, not everyday foods. We're of course talking about the more processed foods. Now, more processed foods go down so much more easily after surgery than the less processed foods. And there's a reason for that, in that when something is processed, our body then doesn't have to do so much work to chew, to swallow, to digest, and then to absorb that food. So the processed foods I'm talking about that are most commonly sort of turned to for emotional support or tend to lead to grazing during the day are those savory foods like chips, popcorn, crackers, pretzels, and sweet foods like chocolate, cake, pastries, flavored yogurts, chocolate chip biscuits, big milky drinks that have got lots of flavor in them like milkshakes, for example. And all of these foods are really high in calories because they are high in fats. They're usually high in saturated fat, which isn't good for our health in the long term. And they're also high in sugar and salt. And so this combination of salt, of fat, sugar, means that it's moreish and that you want to eat more. So once you start, not only are they easier to chew, to swallow, and to digest, but also you are kind of wanting to eat more because of that flavor combination of the fat, the salt, and the sugar. So after a surgery, it's really important that we try to minimize the amount of processed foods that we're eating and instead go for the unprocessed foods. So for example, instead of Cruskits, swapping to a Vita-Wheat, which has more whole grains. So the more whole grains you see, the more whole grains you have to chew and your body has to break down. In another example is going for a fruit or vegetable based snack, or an egg based snack like a little egg muffin or a mini quiche, for example, rather than something like the chips or the chocolate or the popcorn or the biscuits. You can do a dessert that's made with Greek yogurt rather than the flavored yogurt, just to keep the sugar down a little bit. And if you can manage this, you'll be more successful in the long term. You're better able to regulate your appetite. You'll be less likely to graze throughout the day, and you'll be more likely to be able to stop and to feel satisfied after your meals and your snacks. So as we roll into silly season, I just wanted you to be really aware of the food options that you have in the house, at gatherings that you go to, that you've got around the workplace, and try to keep a bit of an eye on how often you are having those more processed foods, and stick, if you can, mostly to the routine that you're in at the moment, or to choosing those less processed options. So I hope that's been helpful for you. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to cover. Otherwise, I'll see you next week, and I'll be back in touch with another live session then. Okay, have a great week. Bye.